We can start.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Ricky Allison. I am an artist and have been an artist my entire life. I've done many different projects in my life, working in all kinds of media possible. This specific exhibition of mine was all inspired by the artist Frida Kahlo. This is her name. And she was a Mexican artist that endured an incredible amount of pain, basically in honor of art. You know, she had such a passion for art, and she was in a very bad accident, and she was bedridden for a whole year. And she started painting literally whilst lying on her back. That's how passionate she was about it. And I really identify with her because, you know, I have also endured an incredible amount in my life in the name of art. And yes, this exhibition is in name of Kahlo, Frida Kahlo, and that's what it's all about.
Okay. And what does art mean to you? Is it some form of speaking to the people, probably voicing out your own opinions about certain women's struggles, or just struggles in general, whether it's women and men? What does art mean to you?
Actually, to me, art means beauty more than, you know, there's so many horrible things in this life, and we are faced with so many negative things on a daily basis. So for me, what I try and achieve through my art is basically to create beauty. And yes, that's what I would say.
Okay. And what should what can people take away from the exhibition, from your work, especially on Frida?
I would say what they can take away from this specific exhibition is the fact that I did one original painting, or 6 original paintings, which were these, and I basically tried to use this design of mine, or this original artwork of mine, as inspiration for many different products. I basically printed it on a comforter, on pillows, on cell phone covers, brooches, jewelry, crosses, clipboards, boards, mugs, anything possible that you could possibly think of. I try to apply my art on.
And how important is it to sort of continue to pay homage to artists such as Frida and others, probably just to keep the story going? Do you think it's important? Or
I think it's extremely important, especially if you're so passionate about it. But obviously I have an interest in art, and Frida is now not the only person that I aspire to. There are many other artists that is as wonderful. And what I'm actually planning in the future, I don't want this to be a Frida shop as such. I want it to be a Ricky art shop that is inspired by many different artists. By next month we're going to have a similar project where our theme will be out of Africa, where I'm mainly going to paint birds and flowers for that exhibition, with a bit of an African touch to it. And yes, and then for the rest of the year we're planning a Dutch evening where I'm going to do Delft inspired artworks. We're going to do a Spanish evening. So yes, Frida to me was close to my heart, and that's why I felt I wanted to start off with her. But our journey will still be a long one this year.
And how do you incorporate all of these themes? Spanish, Dutch, Mexican, a bit of that, but how do you move from one, or do you also carry it through? Because I know some of artists, they are emotionally attached to a topic or to a theme. How do you go about with that?
Yes. You know, I think we live in a country that is so diverse, and I wouldn't want to attach myself to one specific theme or genre as such. I think we have many influences as far as art is concerned, and that's more what I would like to portray than actually sticking to one specific person.
So I'm just gonna probably shift a bit from just everything in terms, but it's still art. There was an an artwork by Ayanda Mabulu with the Jacob Zuma, the latest with former President Nelson Mandela. You know, some people thought it was disrespectful and all that, but as you say that it's art, probably at times it's turning, you know, a gruesome or a painful story into something beautiful. Would you say that art is sort of dying in that sense, because there are more and more young people who come up with those type of art, you know, thought-provoking, controversial type of pieces? So would you say that art is losing its, or is it losing its direction, or is it also part of art in terms of
No, I think people are far more free to express their opinions about basically any project or any theme as such. And you know, many years ago we lived in an era where you couldn't just say what you wanted to, and you sort of had to hide behind a lot of things. And nowadays I think people are free to express themselves. My children are also all artists, and if I see the work that they do, they're amazing, the way their minds work. And no, I definitely think art is alive and getting better, and you know, the whole digital facet that sort of came with art in the last few years. You know, when I was an art student, there was no such thing. You know, you had to paint everything by hand. Nowadays, there's so many directions that you can follow. So I think it's absolutely wonderful what all that does to art, and I think it gives people far more freedom to express themselves in whichever way they want to.